Hello, I'm Eric Snodgrass, and thank you for watching today's weather outlook for the southern region, brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, many of us on Tuesday morning woke up with some bitterly cold temperatures across the south. This was out even midday on Tuesday here, March the 5th, showing you the widespread freeze warnings we had across the south. That bitterly cold air that had been locked up in Montana northern plains has finally invaded the south, and after a very warm February, this was quite a shock to the system. Unfortunately, this brought in these bitterly cold temperatures to those folks that were in parts of Mississippi and Alabama, especially in Georgia, that were cleaning up after the horrific tornadoes that we reported on in our early Monday morning video. Just to also add to this, with that cold air, we even brought in some light snow showers into this area, which again was a location that is trying to clean up after these horrible tornadoes that slid through the area. In fact, we even brought some snow showers clear to the coast up there in the Carolinas and even back into Texas, even West Texas. So this was some bitterly cold air that came down. Well, we do have some things that are changing, but I'm hesitant to say, but I've got to. We do have another major severe weather risk as we press into this next weekend. Getting you through Thursday afternoon, this is what our total accumulated precipitation looks like. And much of what you see here was actually falling early in the morning on Tuesday. So we do have a few days here, mainly Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, that are going to be relatively dry. But what I want to show you is when you look at the next full week of total accumulated precipitation, this is what we get. We have another low pressure system that's right now attacking California that's going to be coming out of the Great Plains by the time we get to this weekend, and it's going to kick off, although this is going to go straight toward the Great Lakes. To the south of it, plenty of warm, moist, unstable air coming in. We're putting down a lot of precipitation on a region that's flooded, and we're anticipating these storms to be severe. Well, here is that coastal low right now. It's attacking, like I said, California, bringing in an enormous amount of moisture, and it's that system that you see spinning there just off the California coast. When we look at these water vapor images, that's going to get across the mountains into the Great Plains. I want you to notice this too. We can see this feature in the clouds. That is the subtropical jet stream, and that's going to be a major player as we move forward, keeping much of the south wet throughout the next couple of weeks. So let's kind of take a look at it here from our operational European model. I'm going to go ahead and click play and just let this get through the next few days. What do we see here? Well, through Thursday, things are relatively quiet across the south. High pressure dominates. It will be once we get into Friday where we start to see the first showers emerging, maybe some thunderstorms in this area, but mainly due to the timing, I think it's going to be mostly just rain showers coming into the lower Mississippi River Valley. But again, this is early Friday morning that we're watching this. This is not the main show. Watch as that spreads across the southeast. You can see widespread showers in through here. This is getting you through the day on Friday. The big player that we're going to have to talk about is right here. So this is Saturday at noon. At that particular point, our low pressure system is in Kansas, drawing up plenty of warm, moist, unstable air. We'll do an analysis of that in a few minutes. So this is Saturday at noon. This is Saturday evening, spreading toward, the Mississippi River Valley there between Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri. And then as it gets into the overnight hours, we're going to have to watch out for some elevated convection, these squall lines of thunderstorms moving through the same region where they initiated last time, then eventually getting their way by Sunday all the way over toward the southeast. Now we're going to do a detailed analysis of that, but because the subtropical jet stream isn't slowing down, let me just show you the next system here. I'm getting out to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or really Wednesday of next week. We just see another one of these things coming through. Now we don't have the timing on this one down pat yet. Yes, it looks like Wednesday the 14th is when it's coming through that evening, but it'll change. But I want you to see that the pattern is going to remain active, and our severe weather threat will remain heightened over the next couple of weeks. To diagnose this event coming on Saturday, I want to show you 4 panels here because we always piece together 4 ingredients. First thing, come to the bottom left panel. We're going to be putting enough moisture in the atmosphere in this area where we get dew points that are in the 50s and 60s. That will help destabilize the atmosphere. We can see the evidence of this here on Saturday afternoon. The map that you see in the upper right is showing you convective available potential energy. In other words, this is energy the atmosphere has to get air to rise violently. So the strong southerly winds pulling in that moisture from the Gulf is what's going to be doing that. Meanwhile, just above the surface, we have this feature right in through here. We call this the low-level jet. This is where we have about a mile above our heads a wind that's coming out of the south-southwest, pushing 50 to possibly 60 nautical miles per hour. So that's nuts. That's really, really fast. But in the upper levels, we have a short wave here with the winds coming out of the west underneath it. So we have our wind shear, we have our destabilized atmosphere, and plenty of moisture. And that's why the Storm Prediction Center, several days out. This is their day 5 forecast for Saturday, have pinpointed this whole region here to be watching, and this will translate to the east with time as we get into Sunday. So we're watching the same area again for some more severe weather this weekend. This is our main story in this video. Now remember, we're going to be putting down that rain right on top of a region where over the last 30 days we've picked up anywhere between 6 and 15 plus inches of rainfall. So this is going to remain quite active in terms of our flooding threat as well. In fact, most of the river gauges here along the lower Mississippi River Valley are at flood stage right now. What is the pattern doing? Well, I want you to watch this with me. We did have a breakdown, which we talked about on our Monday morning video, of the upper level ridge that sat over Alaska. Now, the problem with that for us in the southeast is, see, now we've got this trough sitting here over Alaska. It also gives us another trough that's kind of stationed in this area. And these, as they eject into the central plains, are what draw up that moisture, reduce the stability, and give us not only the wet conditions, but the severe conditions. This is the subtropical branch of the jet stream feeding in here. Let me get my drawings off here and show you the progress of that feature once we get into next week. So I'm talking about the 12th, 13th, 14th. See it sweeping through there? This is our next chance. Remember, whenever you see these troughs, our concern is the main trough axis sitting here with the main ridge axis right in through that area. It's always in between them that we have our most unsettled and potentially violent weather. So my point behind telling you this is just we're not done with this pattern. And as I keep letting this go forward, watch the Pacific. The Pacific wants to let us hang on to that more active subtropical branch. So we can see it right in through there, feeding into this trough that's going into this region. So we're in for a pretty active time period for the southeast. Let's talk temperatures first. This is, again, starting us off with the cold weather we've got right now on Tuesday afternoon. So we're looking at temperature anomalies. But as I play this, you'll start to see much of the south picking up on these warm biases that come through. Let's get the colder out of there. See it? There comes the warmth. This is with our next system. We just lift in quite a bit of warm air with each one of these low pressure systems. Now, I know that overall you see these cooler colors work their way in by mid-month. But remember, the cooler colors we're seeing now are in this range, 2, 3, 4, 5 degrees cooler than average. So this is not going to feel like the Arctic blast we're getting now. It's just slightly cooler than average. It's a much different pattern than we have been in. And I want to finish by showing you one last figure. It's this one. This looks over the next 15 days at the total precipitation anomaly from the European model. And just as I said, not only is it going to be wet this upcoming weekend, but this whole region is going to be subjected to the strong subtropical flow that we're going to be getting here. So our flood fight is not done. The severe weather threat is clearly not going anywhere. This is just something we're going to be watching out for. Looks like these systems are coming one every 5 to 7 days. So we'll keep a close eye on it for you, keep giving you these regional updates, plus our big updates that we release every Monday and Thursday morning to kind of keep you ahead of what weather's going to be tossing at you here. But with that, I'm going to go wrap up this forecast video. We at Nutrien Ag Solutions hope you look forward to our next Southern Region forecast coming out soon. In the meantime, have a great week, and we'll talk to you then. Thank you.